right, we'd like to welcome everyone today to the Cross-Cultural Solutions faculty-led webinar. We want to thank everyone for taking time out of your very busy schedules to join us today to talk about organizing a faculty-led program abroad. I am Sudi Nala, one of the managers of academic partnerships here at Cross-Cultural Solutions, and we also have...
I am Megan Hotchkiss, the other the other co-presenter of the webinar and also a manager.
Yes, so we hope that the presentation today, as you can tell, will be interactive, fun, and an insightful way to learn more about organizing a faculty-led program. So Megan and I are going to walk you through the steps and also introduce you to Cross-Cultural Solutions. Just as some housekeeping notes, we do have a chatting option that's available for the webinar, so feel free throughout the presentation to type in questions that you might have. We'll try to, via the webinar, answer them throughout the presentation, and we may save a few of those towards the end. We definitely want this to be interactive and engaging, so we certainly want to hear from you throughout the presentation. I see we have a chatter already. So what we're going to do is, first off, start by playing a video featuring Cross-Cultural Solutions, just to give you a general overview of the organization. So if you'd hold on for just a minute, we're going to play that video for you, and hopefully it will provide more detailed information about the Cross-Cultural Solutions model.
Throughout college, I volunteered at various different places, but I've never done anything internationally, so I wanted to do something meaningful abroad, and I really wanted to experience another culture.
I was tired of just sitting around in the same city that I've been all my life, so I decided to come to Costa Rica and help out with these kids.
I work in the healthcare field and have always wanted to go abroad and offer my services. I'm a nursing major, and eventually I want to participate in programs such as Doctors Without Borders. CCS seems like the perfect opportunity to kind of get a taste of what that might be like.
I guess I just wanted to do volunteer work because I wanted to do something different, travel around, but like really see the people, rather than just being a visitor.
I wanted to do something with my daughters that was more meaningful than just a vacation, something that would leave a lasting memory with them.
I found out about Cross-Cultural Solutions through my school, and I mean an internship here in school credit.
I'd like to do something that to me, it seemed like Cross-Cultural Solutions had the broadest range of placements, so it fit my needs.
It seemed pretty well structured to volunteer in a lot of different areas.
Whether you want to be in a big city, whether you want to be countryside, whether you want to be working with kids, adults, they pretty much have everything to satisfy anybody's needs and desires.
Here you're in a safe environment where you look after, and all the staff are really friendly.
They really want you to grasp the culture that you're coming into and the people that surround you and just everything with it and live their everyday lives. CCS seems to really give you the whole picture. If you're willing to give the time and the energy, I think it can be an amazing opportunity and you can learn so much.
There's more than just, reading a guidebook and going to the tourist spots. It's about sitting down and trying to communicate with people and trying to understand what their experiences are.
Even in a relatively short time, you get to make quite a bit of difference.
Just do it. Get out there. It'll be one of the best decisions of your life.
Great. So hopefully you found this to be a very helpful intro video to Cross-Cultural Solutions and who we are and what we do. Our website tends to be extremely helpful and informative to learn more about our CCS programs. We have these and other videos that are available for you to look at as you have time to learn more about CCS programs. So feel free to visit our website, www.crossculturalsolutions.org, and you can peruse through any of the additional videos to learn more about our programs and just for you to have a bit of a visual as to where we are, country perspectives, and hearing from other volunteers. So again, hopefully you'll find the site very informative. So now we'll go into our presentation, and again, we really hope that this will be an interactive presentation and that we'll hear more from you throughout the presentation. Again, feel free to use our chat options to ask any questions that you might have about our CCS programs. So we'll kind of go ahead and go into that really quickly. I do think that we got one quick question that I'll try to see if anyone is having difficulty seeing the presentation or hearing us, please send us a chat note so that we can correct our sound. All right, don't think we have any additional questions. So we'll go ahead and go right into the presentation. And what we'll do here is give you an overview of what the presentation today will entail. So we'll start with the outline. We're going to give you a general overview of who Cross-Cultural Solutions is, what we do, and where we are. We're going to talk about CCS faculty engagement and how to lead a customized faculty program. We'll give you examples of partners that we've worked with before, faculty programs that have been successful in the past with Cross-Cultural Solutions. And the main part of what we'll talk about is the CCS staff support for faculty engagement. We know that many of you are very busy teaching courses, and while you may have an interest in leading a program abroad as part of your course development, you may not have the time to coordinate any of the logistics that are related to that. And so what Cross-Cultural Solutions provides by our programming is we provide that support to make it very easy for you to host a Cross-Cultural Solutions program as a part of your faculty-led course. So this is a general idea of what we'll cover, and then we'll conclude with what the faculty-led programming process is. So Cross-Cultural Solutions in general, we are an international not-for-profit organization, a 501c3 organization that is headquartered in New York, and we operate programs in over 10 countries. We've had over 30,000 volunteers participate in our programs, and we have volunteers from very diverse backgrounds all over the world, which will allow for individuals to be able to interact and engage with individuals from around the world. We have special consultative status with the United Nations, and we've partnered with CARE and other organizations in the past. So the great thing about Cross-Cultural Solutions is we're a reputable organization. We know that oftentimes going abroad can be something that is frightening, and obviously being a university professor has a lot of safety and security risks. So one thing that we pride ourselves on is that we are an organization that has been extensively reviewed and assessed and found to be one of the top organizations in terms of meaningful engagement, but also in providing safe and secure opportunities for students. We operate programs in the Latin America region, and in Latin America we're in Brazil, Guatemala, Costa Rica, and Peru. In Asia, we operate programs in Thailand and India. In Africa, we operate programs in Morocco, Ghana, Tanzania, and South Africa. And in Latin America, we operate programs in Brazil, Guatemala, Costa Rica, and Peru. So again, these are where we operate our programs. So again, just to give you a quick recap, and Megan, I'm not sure if there's any additional information you may want to provide about where we operate in summary.
I think with all of the CCS programs, what's amazing is that we have a core model that we sort of centralize here in the United States, and then our in-country directors are really the face of CCS, and they're the ones that are taking our mission, vision, and values, so to speak, and employing it in Thailand, in Brazil, in Guatemala, because obviously we know every country has its own unique cultural aspects. So what's great with a faculty-led program is that whether you go with us, we have programs that repeat to the same country every year, and we have programs that go to different areas of the world, you'll still get the core CCS experience, but then get the diverse cultural aspect that all of our different programs have. So now we're going to move into the CCS faculty engagement piece. Here at Cross-Cultural Solutions, we know that, as Sudhi said, time is your most valuable asset, so we want to facilitate and make this process as seamless as possible. Many of our partners in the past have been able to give their students academic credit by creating a course that has a service learning component. So you would be the academic expert and CCS would be the service learning expert. And part of what we can help you with in your course development is we do have an extensive in-country infrastructure. All of our staff are local nationals who've worked in their respective fields for anywhere from 10 to 30 years. So they can really give you that cultural connection while still maintaining all of the safety protocols that we're all held accountable to. And also, they are really what create our sustainable community partnerships. So you and your students may be in a country for a few weeks, but you're part of a larger organization that sends at least 100 volunteers to all of our sites year-round. So this really lets you make the bridge between service learning and faculty-led programs. And how we do that is through our volunteer placements, which are the core of our program, through our cultural and learning activities. These are sort of how we round out our programs. We really feel that not only do you need to study the program academically, but also understand the culture, because why does a public health system function the way it does? Why does a teaching program have so little resources, so that the students really connect and understand not only the academic side, but the cultural and the social side as well. And finally, because we are a nonprofit organization, we're not held to solely an academic calendar. So we have start dates year-round. So this can be, we have over 15 different faculty on our webinar right now, and I'm sure you all have a slightly different academic schedule. So that really enables us to, if your spring breaks are different, if your winter breaks, if your summer breaks, we even had students go over Thanksgiving or a fall break. So it really lets us cater to your own individual institution's timelines and outcomes. Now we're going to really dive into our program design and sort of how the CCS model can work with you to really engage your academic opportunities. So Sudhi is going to go into a little bit about the CCS three-tiered program design.
Yeah, so basically how we design the programs related to the course is that you provide some type of course instruction. So you may provide the theory information that the students need in the classroom, and you may provide them with information in terms of methodology. So you'll conduct your lecture throughout the semester or while you might be in country. And what Cross-Cultural Solutions will then provide through those lecturing opportunities or through that methodology piece or theory learning, will provide them with the experiential learning and the direct practice component. And that direct practice will come from the volunteer placement. So that's one part of our three-part program design, is that you'll teach about the different subject areas that are your faculty areas of expertise or the course that you're teaching. And then we'll provide the volunteer placement experience for the students to allow for the students and you to put theory into practice through volunteer service and civic engagement. And then the cultural and learning activities will be an interactive in-country opportunity to directly engage with diverse communities that will allow for a more holistic experience. So bringing in not only the opportunity to practice, but to also engage with the community to learn about cultural perspectives as it relates to health and health education, community and business development, psychology and social work, language and language acquisition, politics. So these are different major specific areas that students would be able to volunteer in and that you would be able to teach on directly on the ground. Then you have free time activities, because we know that this can be a very rigorous experience. And so we also want to provide an opportunity for you and the students to go out in the community and experience the markets, experience the mountains and the Mayan ruins, and to have time to kind of engage in more of a social and fun experience. So now we'll talk a little bit more about our volunteer placements, and I'll just give an overview and then have Megan talk about some of the examples of the volunteer placements that are available from a faculty service learning course perspective. So in thinking about our volunteer placements, we talked about this being a service learning experience. And so the CCS programs are interdisciplinary, and they are a natural way to allow students to combine the experience with the academic piece. And so students engage in volunteer placements around what we would call impact areas within communities abroad. And these can be from the areas of social sciences, education, global health, and community development. And so what I'll do then is I'm going to put up a more detailed slide of our volunteer placement opportunities and have Megan talk about the volunteer placements and kind of the structure behind our volunteer placements.
Thank you, Sudie. So the challenge but gratification of any faculty-led course is meeting the needs of your constituents, yourself and the students, and also meeting the needs of the local community organizations. CCS prides ourselves on the fact that we don't organize projects for Americans or for international volunteers. We work with the community to achieve local goals, so that if we ever have to pull out of a community, our projects are ones that are going to be continued. So having said that, we also realize that we want all of our volunteer placements and our impact areas to have a meaningful impact on the students, on the course you're teaching, and hopefully on their greater academic experience. So what we've done is we've organized 4 key topic placement areas, and this is basically to give you a visualization of the type of work that CCS does. These placement areas are translated into all 10 of our countries. So if you were to contact Sudie or I and say we'd like a social service placement, we could then go over with you the list of countries that we have and the types of social services in those areas. So having said that, our first type is community organizations. A lot of the neighborhoods we work in are what we would call lower income. So they'll have their own nonprofit, grassroots NGOs that are forming, sometimes charities, to meet a need. So maybe a women's empowerment. We have a organization in Morocco where the women, a lot of them are immigrant women, have seen their children learning English and their husbands being able to make businesses, and a lot of times now they're single families, so they came to one of our partners and said, would you teach us English? Because they want to be able to help their children in school. They want to be able to run their own micro industries. We also have a lot of sharing professional skills. One of the things CCS does is we also have a corporate partnerships division. So for example, if you came, Google just came and they went to one of our placements and they were working in a health clinic, and you're saying, what was Google doing in a health clinic? They were able to share their computer skills. We have a physical therapy group that can go and work with elder care facilities. So really taking those professional skills, a lot of times those placements are going to be for more senior, junior, senior level undergrads, or your master's and potentially doctorate students. Social services, this is a very large area that we work in because CCS prides ourselves on being a people-to-people exchange and sharing our hearts, minds, and services. We work with a lot of orphanages, daycares, elder care facilities, special needs. Maybe it's students that have learning disabilities. A lot of these are non-governmental organizations. I worked with an organization in Peru that was a partnership between the local barrio, the local neighborhood, and the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church wasn't preaching, they were just providing the facility. And basically the elders could come in 3 days a week. They were getting food, social services, therapy, getting the care they didn't get at home. So we work with a lot of these hands-on partnerships. Education, we work a lot in schools. I know you saw in the video. Teaching English, a lot of times the teachers, English is a way to get into high school and also college, or to make your own business. And a lot of times the teachers in the schools we work have never been to an English-speaking country. So our volunteers come in. They're not the main teachers in the classroom, but maybe they're doing cultural lessons. They're doing conversation. They're just showing a face to this language and culture that the students have been studying. We also get a lot of vocational schools where students are learning a trade. So maybe you're working, just helping out with an extra set of hands. Finally, we have a lot of health placements. We have an extensive health placement guide, so we get a lot of students that call in that say, I want to do brain surgery, but they're an 18-year-old freshman. So we definitely work with them to understand the health process. This is a great with public health, health clinic, pre-med, nursing. We have a lot of clinics where you can go in and do basic volunteer work, but then also have a chance to shadow some doctors and also get a chance to incorporate the professionals into your academic course. So our volunteer placements are typically 4 to 5 hours every day, and this is really the key component of our CCS program. So next we're going to be going into the cultural and learning activities, which I'll give you a brief overview, and then Sudi will do the examples.
And so just to add to the volunteer placements and thinking about those from a faculty course development perspective, for the community organizations, as Megan talked about, and working with the women's populations and women's empowerment and thinking of examples of courses. So you have women and gender studies as a potential course and or major at a school. And so if you're a faculty member in areas of human diversity and or social justice, political science, these are courses that can tie into this volunteer placement. Professional skills and experience and experiential development are hard skills that students have. So whether or not those are engineering skills and working with diverse populations, these are actual courses. What we would like to learn more about is the types of courses that you would be teaching, and again, how we can tie those into volunteer placements. Within social services, we know there are gerontology courses or other courses working with older adult populations. We also know that there are program management courses in working with NGOs where students are able to get program management experience. So you can teach about program management and grant writing, and then you can actually have students go in country, and in working with these organizations, they can gain experience through the course development. Also, education majors at schools. We know that the United States is a very diverse nation, and we oftentimes have immigrant and refugees going to school in the U.S. And so for your education majors, whether or not they're K through 12, this is an opportunity for them to gain teaching experience. If a student has to get a certain number of hours in order to get their education credentials, they can complete these hours in country, and you can lead a faculty-led program in educational training as a part of your course. Again, as Megan mentioned, with the pre-health students wanting to go abroad, we're also looking to have more faculty coordinate programs for all of their students in public health and in nursing. So if you have a pre-nursing or public health course that you'll be teaching and you're looking at international health and health studies, this is an opportunity to gain experience in working with diverse populations in the U.S. as part of your practice, as well as going abroad and doing international health-related work. So again, we want to tie these volunteer placements into courses that you are teaching in order to provide that experience. And so again, Megan will now go into the cultural and learning activities and how we want to incorporate the cultural and learning activities into your course.
So while Sudi's getting the slide to advance, you're picturing a day in CCS, you would wake up, have breakfast at our home base, which we'll talk about in just a sec, go volunteer, and then either in the afternoons, early evenings, you go straight into your cultural and learning activities after lunch. And basically, like I said before, these are your cultural connections. So we all know that traveling, and especially studying abroad, it's a 360-degree process. It's not just a two-dimensional. When you're going abroad, you're looking to get your students outside of the classroom environment. And this is really CCS's opportunity to give your students the experience to really understand the complex cultures that we work in. And how we do this is everything from a detailed orientation when you first get into country. Our home country directors, they basically give you the 411 about everything you need to know, from where you can go to the internet to do your laundry. They'll give you a walking tour to really understand the local neighborhood that you're in. We always put our home bases in typical suburban neighborhoods, so you're not necessarily in a tourist population. So really getting that cultural connection. You'll have language lessons. My favorite are the cultural field trips and the guest speakers. The field trips could be, say, like you're in Costa Rica and you're doing a development course and your placement is at a daycare facility for Nicaraguan immigrants. And you're like, how is this program development? Well, the daycare is actually housing children for the parents that work at a coffee plantation so they can provide for their family. So maybe one of the cultural activities is going to the coffee plantation and seeing the workers and getting to meet the parents. And so your students are really getting this connection of, oh, I'm helping to serve at a daycare, but why is that? What is the economic impact? What is the grassroots level program development? They'll get guest speakers. So maybe the guest speaker for that week would be the program manager for this daycare that works with the local cooperative farming organization. So that's really the type of cultural connection that we like to see. And by you providing us with your syllabus beforehand, we can actually tie that back in. And finally, we have the more fun and lively group participation, such as language lessons, cooking classes, dancing classes. So Sudi will give you a couple examples of that on the next slide with some fun pictures.
Yes, so again here as a faculty member, this is an opportunity for you to contribute to the types of cultural and learning activities that you would like to see as a part of your international course. You're able to give us ideas and suggestions and to customize what the cultural and learning activities are based on the course that you would be teaching in country. So for instance, we had a group in Morocco. There was a faculty-led course around information technology and the use of social media in Islamic communities. And this was a part of a course that was being taught around social media in Arabic nations. And so they volunteered at a local women's empowerment center, but they also taught them using the computers about social media and how to utilize social media in order to get across different social ideologies and to express themselves, and then also as a means for business development. So in their cultural and learning activities and going around to local communities, we would frame those around social media. So the orientations and city tours would be to local newspaper outlets and also to broadcast agencies within specific countries. In this particular country, it was Morocco and our Morocco program. So our city tour can be customized to the course that you're teaching. So if you're teaching a physical therapy course, we can give you a tour of the health clinics that are in the area. If your course is law or pre-law, then we can take you on tours within these respective countries to local law agencies and law firms. So all of the cultural and learning activities can be geared towards your specific course. And so you would let us know again what the course is, what the course objectives are, what the learning goals and objectives are, and we will provide you with volunteer placement opportunities that are very micro, so micro to a specific issue, but then you'll get that macro opportunity to see what the community engages in through the cultural and learning activities. So again, as Megan mentioned, the guest speakers can be specific to the course that's being taught. So again, if you have a sociology course that's being taught, we can actually have sociologists come in and be the guest speakers or guest lecturers during the time that you are actually in country. And so these are ways that the cultural and learning activities can be used to enhance and or complement the course instruction. So next we'll go into free time opportunities that are available, and Megan can talk about some free time opportunities that other faculty members have. What are some frequent questions we get from faculty members about free time activities as part of the Cross-Cultural Solutions program?
So going back with our visualization of the CCS day, so you wake up, have breakfast, go volunteer 4 to 5 hours, come back to the home base, have lunch, and then have your cultural and learning activities. So Monday through Friday, your free time could be anywhere starting at 4 or 5 o'clock, or it could start after dinner. That depends on your weekly schedule of your cultural and learning activities. What a lot of faculty use the weeknight time for is that's really your course development and connection with your students. So whether you're hosting debriefing sessions, some faculty will have journaling or blogging, or the students will be doing some sort of research project. We can provide you with room in the home base to organize that. Sometimes students will have small groups that they need to break up into. Maybe they're doing their own research, so this is when they go out in the community and they're looking at different aspects to then take back, and maybe they have a final presentation or a paper at the end of the course. This is also a time, if you're, say like you're working with longer term students, we get some faculty that will go over with co-op students, maybe education or social work majors, and maybe this is the time that you would do your one-on-one evaluations with the students. Maybe you would travel with them for the first week, and then maybe they would stay in country 6 to 8 weeks. So our staff could facilitate Skype interviews and meetings for you. So really the free time is yours to craft however you want it. Some faculty, maybe you have a connection in Ghana and you want to arrange your own guest speaker or lecture or site visit. This is when we can put in a request to our in-country staff to help you really craft the course to how you want to do it. Then sort of the second category of free time that we have are the weekends. So the CCS volunteer schedule is kind of like a work schedule. It's a Monday through Friday. Most of the partner organizations we work with, unless it's a facility-based residence like an orphanage, close on the weekends. So this is really the time to, again, customize the course to meet your overall objectives. So a lot of times faculty want to include, say, a day trip or a overnight excursion somewhere. So maybe you're in Guatemala and you're going to the rainforest. You're in Peru, you're going to Machu Picchu. You're in Thailand in our program in Bangkok and you want to go up to Chiang Mai. This is a great option. We actually partner with STA Travel and Key Travel, so these are great options for you to get some discounted travel. Our in-country, what we call our program site specialists, they're the ones that are in-country experts before you go. They can help you get lists of what other groups have done. Again, if your university has their own department, we're more than willing to work with them, or you can work with the CCS programs. Sometimes if your students are there for longer periods of time, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, the faculty will give the students free time to travel on their own. This is really where you set the rules and the boundaries and you work within CCS. our staff are always here to help you. So whether you're crafting it to expand the academic component of your course, to the academic requirements, or if it's more of a fun social experience for the students, this is sort of the third tier of the CCS experience. Sudie, did you have anything else to add?
Yes, so in summary, I think Megan has given us a really comprehensive overview for the different options of the for free time. And again, to summarize that and going back to the faculty-led course model, this is an opportunity for you to lecture during your free time. This is an opportunity for you to debrief during your free time and to get assessments from the students during the free time. And then this is also an opportunity for you to go out and explore the community and engage. And so you would let us know what you would want that free time to look like, and we would coordinate that to provide an organized schedule for you. So those are the three options for free time. And most of our faculty have typically used this time within the home base to provide additional lecture and course instruction for students. And we do provide you with a facility in order to conduct that. And that leads us into our next piece in talking about our home base. So if you decide to use this free time for course instruction, you may be wondering, well, where will I conduct these lectures? Where will I do this debriefing? The Cross-Cultural Solutions home base is a facility that accommodates between 20 to 30 persons at a given time. So I know many of the faculty, in order to operate a course, you have to have between maybe 6 to 10 students enroll in a program in order for the course to be offered. So if you have 6 to 10 students at a minimum, but say you get about 20 to 25 students that are enrolled in the class, Cross-Cultural Solutions provides a home-based facility as part of our program, whereby all the students will be housed in the home base in addition to the faculty. Our home base is divided into gender and also into I guess what we would call a university policy restrictions. So the females will be on the upper level floors of the home base. The males will be on the first floor, and then we're also able to separate staff and faculty versus students. So if the staff and faculty members need to have their own housing options, we do offer that in order for there to be that university policy guidelines that you would be able to abide by in country. And we would generally describe our home base as safe and comfortable. They're shared dormitory style facilities, so you'll have about 4 students in bunk bed styles in the rooms, and then there is a common shared restroom facilities for individuals, and then we also have common rooms and dining areas. And for the course instruction or the debriefing options, you can utilize our common room facilities as well as our resource centers as areas for you to kind of gather together as a group. Meals and snacks are provided as part of our program, so you'll receive 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. The great thing about our meals is, again, this is a part of your holistic experience in country. So if you go to Morocco or South Africa, the 3 meals will be local regional cuisine. In Latin America, the food will be food that's from the local community, and it's healthy and it's prepared by the in-country staff. So you're able to get that cultural perspective through the meals that are provided. And of course, in terms of safety and security and providing these meals in the home base, it will provide an experience, because we don't want to have, sick volunteers going out, or we don't want you in country getting sick from any of the food. And so we're very, very, very cautious of our home base and how it provides a safe and secure experience for volunteers. Anything else to add to the home base?
I always just like to point out that you are in a residential neighborhood, so as opposed to a travel tour course where a lot of times you're staying in very tourist areas because you're, 2 or 3 days in one city, 2 or 3 days in the other. If you're really looking for that deeper cultural connection, literally our home bases are either houses or apartments. For example, if you're in Bangkok, it's typically an apartment versus Lima is a house. And it really gives the students that connection of, oh, maybe they're in the country for 3 weeks, but they get to see a little bit more in depth of how that population works. The other thing we like to point out is we all have to go through the safety and security vetting process, which we'll cover later, but our home bases are actually insured by the same company that insures the CCS volunteers for your repatriation, your emergency evacuation, and your health insurance. So if you did need to go through a general counsel or a safety and security risk review committee, we're completely happy to provide any of this home-based models. We do have a director of health and safety, and she actually works with the vice president of programs. They've done a complete wheelchair accessibility, disability. We've had blind volunteers, deaf, students of all shapes and sizes, and we can also accommodate any food preferences, allergies. I'm lactose intolerant, for example, so I told the cook and crew, and they actually make sure that there's always an option for everyone. So we just like to point that out, so it seems like, oh my gosh, sometimes the details can get a little crazy. So since we include the home base as an option, that really frees up your time to not have to worry about those details and to really concentrate on the course development. And it's really, I feel like having worked for 4 years with faculty planning courses, this can take up a lot of your staff and time, and it's great if you can go to your study abroad office and say, hey, I have a program which this is all included. So
exactly.
Now moving on, we are sort of want to talk about the greatest resource that we have just really quickly is both Studi and I mentioned is our in-country staff, our local nationals. So you see here 2 of our country directors, Kike, who's in the top left from Peru, and Grace from Brazil. Basically, the CCS development process takes about 5 years for us to go into a country. And part of the reason is our executive director wants to find the right face to represent CCS. So basically, like I said before, the CCS in-country directors are the heart of our organization, and they're really the ones that are going to be your go-to. They lead all of the staff. They work directly in the home base. So during the day, you'll have access to the in-country directors, and then at night, we do have security guards that can always get in contact with them. In addition to that, Kike, for example, has worked in the nonprofit world in Peru for 20 to 25 years. So any type of course, there's never been a area that he hasn't had a connection to. And the other thing I like to mention, in addition to, you see they know the area, they know the country, they know how to help you with all the logistics of your transportation and cultural, they also really know how to get you connected and to really give you that expert advice. So I don't know if there's anything Studi wanted to add, but they're full-time staff, so you'll never find an American leading a CCS program. They're all local nationals, and they're also on our payroll year-round. So something that makes CCS a little bit unique is our in-country directors are based in their home country year-round so that they know how to develop and keep the CCS model current. So anything else, Studi?
Yeah, I would just add to that in thinking about this from a program structure standpoint in your faculty course development, our headquarters staff here in New York will serve as your liaisons prior to travel and preparing you for your program, what flights to get, what to pack, how to prepare. So we have our headquarters staff here, which your first stop would be Megan and myself in helping you to coordinate and consider, even before you say, yes, I want to do a faculty-led program with Cross-Cultural Solutions. We'll be your first points of contact to structure your program and to also enroll you into your faculty-led program. Your next step would be to communicate to the program site specialist, who is a U.S.-based expert on the country you would be traveling to. Then next, you have our in-country staff, who are providing your on-the-ground logistics when you're in country. This is the individual that if you want to set up a liberal arts related program in Lima around a specific area, they are the ones to find the volunteer placements, arrange the logistics, and do all the on-the-ground planning prior to you arriving in country. And so again, this makes it very easy for you to develop a faculty-led course and then for us to take care of the logistics prior to, and for us to be able to customize it from a mutually beneficial perspective that is mindful of community needs and awareness, but also to address the course learning objectives that you might have. And so that's generally a way to look at it. So again, as Megan mentioned, our in-country staff are local nationals of the community who are experts not only in their academic fields and professional fields, but they're also experts into the cultural and social norms and how to be able to bring in international volunteers in a way that's going to be mutually beneficial for the community. So we'll quickly go into some logistics and transition into things that you'll want to think about as you're developing your program. And some things that you want to think about is the benefits that CCS will provide. Is again, we'll provide you with this one-on-one attention as a faculty member. Megan and I are available to talk through some of your course considerations. So you'll contact us to talk about what courses you're interested in incorporating an international component into, and we can engage one-on-one. We're available here Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 Eastern Standard Time to talk you through your initial consideration processes of whether or not a faculty-led program with an international component is going to be a good fit for you and your institution. We have a very safe and secure model for your faculty-led program. We know that many colleges and universities have policies and procedures that you need to abide by, and so we want to make we are in line with those and provide detailed information. So if you're filling out a faculty-led course proposal that has to be approved by your university, Megan and myself are available to answer those questions, because we know that the safety and security component of a faculty-led proposal is one thing that oftentimes faculty members need help with. Also the flexibility. If you want this course to operate in the fall semester, maybe you want it to be a January term course, maybe you want it to be a May term course or a summer course, we're able to offer you flexibility of time. So again, you would let Megan or myself know when you'd be interested in offering the course. Maybe you want to teach the course from August until November, and then over a week-long break in November, you want to have the course go abroad for 1 week. We've had faculty-led courses go for 1 week all the way up to 4 weeks during the summer for programs. So Cross-Cultural Solutions, again, offers programs in terms of flexibility from 1 week to 12 weeks for your course consideration. And again, this is all the comprehensive services and supports that we offer. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the program fee and the program fee breakdown. I think we've covered the safety and security component, and if you have any questions about safety and security, feel free to enter those into the chat option, and we'll try to address those individually. Now we'll talk about all the programs and services that Cross-Cultural Solutions provides. It's for a program fee that contributes to the local community and provides livable wages to the staff members that we employ, and it also provides the opportunity for us to engage communities and provide you the supportive services and logistics that are needed in order to operate your faculty-led program. So Megan will go ahead and talk a little bit about the program fee, and again, if you have questions, feel free to enter those into the chat option.
So our program fees for a 1 week program start at $18.25 for the week. This is completely inclusive of all of your in-country expenses. We do meet you at the airport all the way till when we drop you back off. It includes your placements, all of your scheduled cultural and learning activities, so anything that would be on your official CCS schedule, not the free time activities. Your home base, which includes your lodging, food, and water, your travel medical expenses, and a 24-hour hotline. And it also includes all of the pre-departure support from the programs team and also from the partnerships team. We are a 501c3 tax organization, so because we do know every student likes to find a way to save money. Some of our faculty-led groups actually offer the fundraising option to their students. We have had groups that students have fundraised as a group, and we also have had groups where students have fundraised individually. We have a free guide and whole website as to how students can have their own webpage for fundraising and buttons. So this can be a great way if the student may not qualify to use a lot of financial aid. I know a lot of the Pell Grant students are no longer able to use their Pell Grants over the summer. Some students may, miss the gap. They may not qualify for a lot of extra. This can actually be a way to help you increase your numbers, because we all know that there are minimum numbers that you have to receive for your institution to let your course go. So this is a great way to help students offset the course. We do let organizations pay as a group pay or as individuals. So you can pay institution to institution, or each individual student can register. So all of these different options, that's one of the great things of having Studio sort of in your back pocket. Is I definitely spend a great portion of my day working with faculty to really help you develop the course. I think we're the experts with CCS, but we definitely think you're the expert on your campus. So whether or not, it may not be if it's your first time around the block or if you've led a course for 20 years, we can help you sort of go through this process, make it seamless, make it easy, and also if you're not familiar with how the process runs on your campus, we do this every day, so sometimes we can at least help direct you to the offices on campus and the types of questions that you should be asking. So just to recap, if you are like, well, I don't know, if the program fee would work, if I understand the model, we do offer site visits. So you could do a week-long familiarization program, or you could do a 3-day, 2-night short sort of insight trip. So this would sort of give you the example of really the buy-in to the Cross-Cultural Solutions program. We typically cover the cost once you're in country if you can provide the airfare to get there. So that's a great way. Most faculty courses typically take, if it's your first time out, about a 2-year development process. So a lot of times we'll try to get a faculty on a familiarization program the year before you want to travel, or the semester before. So in recap, we are a program fee-based organization, but one of the advantages of that is it really lets you concentrate on the course development, and we concentrate on the financial portion of your course.
Absolutely, and just the one thing to add to that in terms of the program fee pricing is we do offer discounts for a minimum of 6 individuals, including yourself, the faculty member, participating in the program. And then for every 8 students that are enrolled in your course, the faculty member's program fee is complimentary. This then allows for the international course to be more affordable for the student and to not have to roll in those fees to the students. If you have at least 8 students that are enrolled in the course and traveling, then again, the faculty member's program fee will be complimentary. So we're going to conclude so that we allow a little bit of time for anyone to ask questions. So if you want to go ahead and begin keying in any questions you have into the chat option, we're going to summarize, and this would be a great way to think about the process for coordinating a faculty with cross-cultural solutions. Is one, you want to confirm the course that you'll be teaching. What's the name of the course? Is this a introduction to social work, sociology and humanities, pre-law? Is this a truth and reconciliation course? Is this a public health course? What is the name of the course and the course objectives and outlines that you would want to what you would want to teach? The next thing you would do is select a destination. We mentioned again that we're in Latin America, we're in Asia, and we're in Africa. So where would you like for this course to be taught. So select a destination. Next, you'll want to confirm your time frame based on your school's calendar and your schedule. Again, do you want to teach the course, provide some course instruction at the beginning of the semester, and then have a 1-week experiential learning opportunity as a part of the course and then come back? Or do you want to travel and come back and teach the course? Or do you want to completely teach the course in country? What's the time frame? Next, as we mentioned, you want to consider budget options based on the time frame and what the group would like to do. Then after you've done those preliminary things, contact Megan or myself, and we can help you walk through your time frame considerations and your budget options after you kind of thought about what type of course you'd like to teach. We'd also like for you to share a copy of your course syllabus with us so that we can look at all of the details related to the course and discuss that with our programs team as well as our in-country staff to make sure it will be a good fit. Then finally, we'd like to enroll you, the staff, and any students on your program, and then you would actually travel abroad. So this is the 7-step process that you will want to think about in conducting your international faculty-led course and in customizing it. And so hopefully that provides you with a comprehensive overview on how to arrange a faculty-led program. We know that that was a lot of information in just a short period, and we hope that you found it helpful. We'd really love your feedback. Feel free to provide your feedback in the chat option or email us as to whether or not you found this information helpful and insightful. Also, feel free to give us a call if you're ready to move forward in considering a faculty-led course option at your school. If you are in the introductory phases, or if you're in the enrollment process, or if you're already a part of a cross-cultural solutions program and just have some questions, again, feel free to contact the Academic Partnerships Department and we'd be happy to help you. Again, if you have any questions, and I'll also see if, Megan, if you have some final comments for the group.
I just wanted to highlight one thing is we did record this webinar, so what we've been able to do is after last week's student webinar and after some of the others, I know we have a couple study abroad staff and department directors on, so if you have any specific faculty who are not able to make this but are come to you as interest, please feel free to email us, and we're happy to also provide that because this is a great, and we have a guide that sort of also walks them through this development process. So I think Sudhi summed it up very nicely. Thank you all for taking the time to participate. We are going to be having weekly webinars through International Education Week. Next week's is going to be interning abroad, and then we will be doing a social science major one. So if you have any students or other departments that you think could benefit and you'd like to share the information, please feel free to email us their contact information and we'll include them to our distribution list. So I think that's all, and thank you again for taking your lunch hour, or if you're on the West Coast, your first hour to learn a little bit more about CCS, and we look forward to working with you.
Absolutely. So thank you again. And just like Megan said, feel free if you all have internship or practicum opportunities that students have to complete as part of their course study. We'd love for you to join us next week, as she mentioned. And again, if you have any faculty members that are in social sciences the week after, to have them participate in the webinar if they would like to lead a faculty-led course abroad in the social science area. Please let us know. And then if you have any options for programs and you would like to see us host a webinar around that specific course area, we'd be happy to provide that information as well. So thank you again, and Cross-Cultural Solutions look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. And again, we're available if anyone has any questions.